guys, welcome to Clockwork, Dan to Noodles for another summer overview. 2 years now on the channel, I believe. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are looking after yourselves. Bear in mind, there will be 2 reviews this season for us, and we're going to have Japan content. So if you haven't seen my tagged video yet, I am moving to Japan in August, so there might be some bumping around. The new anime season starts early July. There will be a possibility some videos will get shunted until I sort myself out in Saga. I'm very excited, but it does mean that things will be moving around. So I can confirm already off the bat that my new release schedule is going to be Sunday, Monday for the 2 anime shows that I have chosen. 2 shows being broken down on the channel. Once I settle into my lifestyle anyway, I might be able to up that for the season afterwards, but for summer it's going to be a light season. To be fair, I've gone through the videos. It doesn't seem like there's too much going on, but when you do see something going on, it's a big show. I'm using Live Anime Chart. It's a good resource if you want to know when things are coming out, what's going on. I will be releasing Japan content. It's going to be videos, it's going to be shorts. There is a blog. What hand is this? Oh, it's that hand. I'm reversed for some reason. There is a blog somewhere up here, wherever he's put it, somewhere. There's going to be a blog for you guys to follow. At the moment, I'm just doing odd bits and pieces because I haven't moved, but it will go daily once I'm over there. But I'm going to be releasing a lot of Japan content, hoping that will also influx the channel with some new subscribers. So let's just go straight off the bat into the video itself. I am going to go from the bottom just because the ones I am breaking down are at the top and it makes sense to start at the bottom. So the first thing that is continuing for me in particular is Yami Shibai. I have a feeling my head is in the way. Season 13. It's just an anime which does Japanese folklore, Japanese supernatural, scary stuff. I just like the stories. It's not a mind-blowing anime, but it is a show that for me, as somebody who's very interested in Japanese folklore anyway, it's right up my alley. I get to hear some of these stories because I want to believe there's a grain of truth to these stories. Now, next up, also behind my head, it's called Moriarty Perfect Crimes. Now, if you have been on the channel long enough, I was a big Moriarty the Patriot fan until the last few episodes because I thought it went off the rails a little bit. A big fan of the Sherlock Holmes franchise. Generally, if something Sherlock Holmes comes out, I will watch it. So I am going to watch this one. The basic synopsis is James Moriarty dies at the end of The Falls when he falls down those Reichenbach Falls, like the story. Like that's when the story diverges. He is then isekai'd in a sense and possessed by a beautiful young lady. She is an aristocrat, but she's in a very abusive family. So he decides that what better way, I guess they could communicate in the same body because they're occupying the same space, that we're going to get revenge and we're going to have the perfect Moriarty crime. So it's a crime story. She's a villainess. It does sound really, really cool. So that is the first show on the list that I want to stop off on the little tour. Obviously, you guys can see what's coming out anyway. There might be stuff that I'm going past that you guys are interested in. I have tried to limit what I'm taking on because I need to get settled into my role. I can't guarantee how much time I'm going to have. I know I'm going to have a fair bit, but I also want to explore my new town. So very excited for that. Let's quickly go to the next line because I think the next one is here. Also behind my head, Tasuketsu. I'm going to say that really slowly because I don't trust my pronunciation just yet. I guess a psychological drama death game. I've had quite a few death games come out recently in the anime years and they haven't been great for me. This one here, we have a student waking up with 5 fellow humans. All the rest have suddenly died in the town that he's in. He receives a message from someone proclaiming to be an emperor where he says one rule in these games, and that is that the majority has to die. So whatever tasks he's given, let's say he goes, who likes eggs? Let's say the majority says yes, they die. Thankfully, I've never been keen on eggs. I didn't die in that scenario. That is essentially the rules of the game that they're going to go through. The next line, I just bit my tongue, that really hurt. The next one we have, if I just get that up because I think I've cropped the page a little bit. It's actually over here. You guys can see it now. This is Tensui no Sakuna Hime. It's a spoiled harvest god. So Hollow has got a bit of competition this season. But she is banished from her hometown. She ends up having to band up with unlikely characters to try and reclaim her birthright, try and be back in where she was. Thought the art style was what grabbed me. I like the picture. I think it's very pretty. That does sound like something that I can get behind. It's also by PA Works. Now, the next one is over here. I don't know if you can see my mouse. It's called Delico's Nursery. It's by JC Staff. I like JC Staff's work. This is delayed. It's a very heavy delay here, and in a sense, I'm kind of glad, because it was the third show I would have considered breaking down if I had the space and I wasn't exploring and bringing out so much content to you guys. This is Delico's Nursery. This was hyped. It's coming out August the 7th. Vampires, it's gothic, affluent, aristocratic vampire who has to find a way of raising the vampire children, but there's a lot of murder involved. It's fantasy, it's gothic, it's dark, the art style looks really good. It reminded me a little bit of Shadow's House, which I really want another season at some point to come out, because I love that show. But that's what it reminded me of. If you are using the live chart, you can click on things, you can read the blogs, you can read what's going on. The trailers are all linked as well. Now, the next anime is also behind my head, obviously, by PA Works. This is Na Nare Hana Nare, which translates into basically cute girls doing cute things. Yeah, it's another one of those kind of shows. The main character, she was very much into high school cheerleading. Woohoo! I don't know how well I'm running, because obviously OBS takes up so much space on my dying computer. There is a coffee account. Oh, this way. A coffee account, if you do want to go check it out. We are raising for the computer. When it comes into July, it's going to happen regardless. So hopefully in Japan, I'm going to bring streams to you guys. I should be able to answer your questions. Go online. We can talk about anime shows. You can ask me questions about Japan, the jet experience, all that kind of stuff. But for now, we are just going to deal with my computer running a snail. Hopefully, I'm doing the cheerleading aspects here. The girl ends up, she's like national level. So she was actually national level. She makes a mistake. She ends up damaging like her foot. She befriends some new girls in her new school, and they decide that, you know what, we're going to try and do the thing. Inspire other girls to try and do the thing. That is the moral of that show. Let's go up another line. I'm now going into a replacement for Dungeon Meshi, my favourite show at the moment. I love it. It's just ended. I've just watched the last episode, so I'm very sad. This is Dungeon no Naka no Hito. I actually thought that meant dungeon people, and it kind of does. Happy that I know the word Hito now. I know what that means. A different show from Dungeon Meshi, but it is about a girl who is hired to go and interview all of the monsters that live within the dungeon. And obviously she's got to find out ways to trap monsters, to try and talk to them. Comedy. It's not obviously going to be a Dungeon Meshi style cover up, but it might feel the itch if you are missing Dungeon Meshi like I am. So let's now scroll another line up. The next one I believe is here. Although this one here, guys, this looks like it's going to be some kind of fetish. It's ecchi, it's fantasy. There's a lot of boobs, oppai. And the fact that she is a masseuse, a massage therapist, this just feels like it's going to be the meme show of the season, the one which is basically a hentai but isn't. I just feel like it is. But the one I'm actually here to talk about is this one right here, not behind my head. This is Nije Josei no Wakagimi. I have actually got notes today as well, so I've actually got some notes. This is the elusive samurai. So this young boy is the son of the shogunate, the guys who are in charge of the country. However, there is an uprising. His family is brutally murdered, deleted in front of him. And he ends up having to go into hiding because, again, they want to kill him. He ends up having to train. He plans to one day reclaim his birthright, similar to the other one down below. You know, it's about justice. It's about revenge. It's one of those kind of stories where you hope that the guy's going to actually come back with a vengeance. It's historical, it's samurai, and it looks kind of cool. And it's by Cloverwork, so I have high hopes. I did look at the manga really briefly. Manga doesn't have a high score, but that doesn't always translate into how good stuff it's going to be on the screen, especially if you've got an actual studio behind it. Now, behind my head, you can't see it, is Rick and Morty, the anime. Something I have noticed this season, it is a very westernized lineup in a sense. There's a few shows here that are westernized, and you'll see what I mean a bit higher up. If you are into Rick and Morty, there's an anime, so check it out. I'm going over here to this one here now, so you can see it. This is by the Studio Lapan Track. This is called Shu Shimin series, and this is essentially how to become ordinary. So you've got a group here, I guess they're childhood friends. They enjoy unraveling mysteries. It's, I guess, a fill-in for mysterious disappearances, but without the boobs. Some kids who essentially loved solving mysteries. However, in their last school, something really unpleasant happened, and they're trying to be normal. They're trying to just blend in their new school, live a new life, and try and get over the temptation to solve mysteries. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Sorry, my foot just went to sleep. Are at school doing their own thing, and then the temptation starts to arise. Stuff starts to happen. They are tempted to try solving mysteries once again. So let's see how that one goes. That one could be quite fun. Moving up here, Make heroine ga Usugiru. Too many losing heroines. This one could be interesting. I wanted to throw a romance in. There wasn't too much romance this season that actually caught my attention. A lot of the romance this season seems to be slice of lifey, or somebody falls in love with their step sister or something. You know how I don't really want to go into that. So I was like, not interested. This is the only one I'm interested in because of the studio too. This is by A1 Pictures. I like a lot of their work. Anyway, it is about a guy, this little guy in the corner here. And he's got some friends, and they're all being rejected by their crushes. They're going through puberty, they're in love with people, but they're getting rejected. Him trying to help his friends find love. He's becoming the matchmaker. The next one, not behind my head, is right here with the really long title. Madogushi Dahlia wa Utsumu Kanai Kyo Kara Jiu na Shoku in Life. Dahlia in Bloom. So we have a lady who was about to get married. It is actually kind of a reborn into a new world. So it is kind of an isekai, but isekai isn't actually mentioned anywhere in the titles. Very good at crafting things. She was at one point her father's apprentice. She was jolted at the altar. So she was about to get married, and the guy was like, nah, actually I love somebody else, bye. So she ends up deciding that I'm going to live a quiet life as a crafter, and it's a fantasy slice of life. I wanted something slow, something cool, and I felt like a bit of slice of life would be good as I'm enjoying the hot summers in Japan. I guess I'll be also experiencing anime as it comes out. You are on the channel. I would say my reviews are probably going to drop earlier to the next line, because there's actually a couple on here that I wanted to talk about now. Behind my head again, really. So behind my head that you can't see is, I think it's the magic girl who falls in love with the evil lieutenant. I think that's what it translates into. So we have got another romance shoujo magical girl transformation kind of thing. So they used to be arch enemies. I love the art style. What drew me to this was the art style and the fact that Studio Bones, do like Studio Bones' work. It looks like it could be, I don't want to say it, the hidden gem of this season. I don't want to say it because I know what's above in the upper lines, but it does look like it's going to be one of the hidden gems of the season. So I'm looking forward to seeing it because it looks pretty. It does eventually bloom into a romance, so I want to see how that happens because they essentially hate each other at first. Nier Automata's version Core 2. I did watch the first one. I know people were bugging me to watch it. I did. Did I like the guy? I can't even remember because it's been a while, because that one ended up with delays as it came out. I think it came out the same season as Trigun did, and I was more in love with that show than this one. But Nier is one of those shows where it blows my mind to look into the lore. I get so confused. It's very heavy. I haven't played the games, so for me it's trying to keep up with it. Well, I'm going to watch the second core anyway because I liked the guy. He was kind of cool. I can't even remember his name now. It's literally left my brain. Him. He's awesome. I like him. I thought it was fun. I also like the premise of having Adam and Eve at the end as the kind of the villains, but they're not villains. And then there's this grey moral area. Are these guys actually evil? And then who's actually telling these guys to do stuff, which is really, really cool. So I like the show premise on that. Nothing interesting on the next line for me. This one here. Shikanoko no Konoko Koshitantan, which sounds like it's actually like a tongue twister or something. It is by Wit Studio, and if you've been on the channel long enough, I love Wit Studio. Wit Studio are my favourite studio. I love what they stand for, and I really love all the work that they have produced, stuff that is more unique, that doesn't always feel like it's going to do well. They take a lot more gambles, I find, and I've heard that they do treat their staff a little bit better than people like Mappa. Girls Meet Elk Girl. Essentially, it's comedy, it's fun. The girl goes to school and I guess she can do elk stuff. Shenanigans will obviously happen as they're in school. This guy wants to have a harem and she kind of likes him. So that's another one of those. I did notice that there's a lot of isekai romances happening. Let's quickly go to Behind My Head. It's continuing. I used to watch it. It was actually one of my gateway animes. It's Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is coming back for the 100 Years Quest. I am not watching it. It's been a very long time. I used to cosplay with it and I've got a lot of negative memories from the cosplay community with Fairy Tail. I do appreciate the show and I miss it and I used to really enjoy it, but I did think it kind of got boring and a bit repetitive for me, sadly. After just the time skip, it was kind of like, okay. But it's coming out and I'm expecting that one to do very, very well. So I think that one will do very well when it comes to the viewers. Let's go here. Wit Studio getting this contract made me so happy. Suicide Squad, the isekai. This is probably going to be the anime of the season. I can kind of sense it. This is also what I meant by westernization. It's a show that came out in the West, has been turned into an anime. So that's great. I'm all for it. It also means we'll get an influx of new watchers into the anime community who are appreciating anime, which I like. I'm all for making anime more accessible. Very excited. I'm going to watch it. Can't wait. I would have probably broken this down if I wasn't going to Japan, but I am. Also because I don't have the biggest knowledge when it comes to comics in general. It wasn't my thing. I know lots of people who are very big in comics, but it wasn't the thing that I grew up with. So I have watched Suicide Squad. I've seen the Batmans. I love Dark Knight Rises. That was the Batman I was essentially introduced to. I absolutely loved the kind of the more grittier nature to it. So I haven't actually seen the Robert Pattinson that came out. I do think I'd like it because it's grittier and darker. I kind of like that aspect because I've seen some of the older ones where Batman is quite goofy and comic, and I don't think it's more my thing. I feel like this will be the show that does very well. A lot of people like Harley Quinn, and I think a lot of people will just watch it because it is something they recognize. Both of the shows I'm breaking down on this actual line is great. I'm gonna go behind my head really quickly. We have Spice and Wolf continuing on the show. Thank you guys so much. It started taking off about midway. I don't know what happened, but the views are up right now. When nothing else is pulling its weight on the show view wise, I need a show like that. I am actually really enjoying it. I didn't think I would. It is slow paced. I think that's what you need with the show. I do know a lot of people who I initially told to watch it have stopped. Each to their own, but I am enjoying it, and we are breaking it down on the channel still, so it would be bad if I disrupted your viewings. And we ended on such a cliffhanger. I was like, oh my god. I was shocked and I was really sad. It's getting really good. It really does remind me of good old days of To Your Eternity. Got that kind of same beats as well, but I guess To Your Eternity came after, so that might have taken some of the beats from Spice and Wolf. That is going to be continuing on your Monday slot. Now, next door to it, in the second slot here, which I'm guessing not a lot of people will be watching because you either missed this when it came out or you weren't impressed because of the adaptation. This is Kami no To, aka Tower of God, Season 2. I am a big manhwa adaptation watcher. I'm avid to watch all of the adaptations from manhwa into anime because I want to see how it does. Originally, the first season was good. It was consistent. It wasn't mind-blowing. Kenjiro Suda's in it, so I have to watch it anyway. It ended on the biggest cliffhanger ever. However, I will say, spoiler alert, right in the poster, spoiler alert, I guess he didn't die. I have also been playing Hero Kantari, but I changed my phone recently and I can't play it anymore. But I do know who this is. I know who this character is here. I know what he's also called, his name as well. Know a few characters when it comes to Tower of God. My favourite character, the silver-haired guy. I can't remember. It's like, it begins with a U. People who know the show and know the material will know exactly who it is. Tower of God is coming out on the Sunday. Sunday, Monday are going to be anime, and then the rest of the week I'm going to be dotting it around with Japan videos, Japan questionnaires. Maybe we'll do one night where we live stream depending on what my schedule is. Maybe like once every fortnight or so where I have an hour live stream where we can talk and you guys can ask me questions about Japan and things, anime as well. So I think that could be good. We'll see how it goes and see how life on the channel bumps around with this big change. I am very nervous, excited, anxious to see how the channel grows. I'm just nervous with the influx of the Japanese content that people won't see it. This channel only really airs to people who are doing anime, because whenever we do games on the channel, they do poor. Things that do the worst on the actual channel are games, which is sad because I have so much fun doing them, but it doesn't bring in the views, so I can't do it, and it's also wasting my time and the editor's times. I don't want to be putting things forward if they don't do very well, but I'm really nervous that the Japan content isn't going to do well. But I am going to promote it on Instagram. I'm going to promote it on other channels to try and get people in to the channel itself. Big things that are coming on the channel, and I think top line, the only thing I've really got on here to mention is that this is continuing here, this Boku no Hero. I haven't actually seen the rest of the 7th season. I haven't started it. I love My Hero Academia, but I guess I kind of want to binge that one, so I'm waiting for this season 7 to end, then I'll just binge it. I forgot this one down here, this one here. I just want to mention it. It explains why I don't like a lot of the premises for the romance animes this season. It is called Gimi Sai Katsu. This guy here gets a new stepsister, falls in love with her, essentially. I guess they're not related, but the father's married the mum, and I don't know what the implications of that, because I'm pretty sure you can't marry a stepsister, but I think it's a grey area. The fact that I'm having to even think about it kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. So that's another show I wanted to mention. But that is all of the stuff that is coming out for the season that I'm going to watch. You might be watching some of the stuff up here. Obviously, a lot of people are watching Oishi no Ko. I'm not. I think the fan base has put me off it entirely, so I just can't be bothered with the show to pick it up. And plus, I've got so little time right now to pick up an entire show, but I am having fun. Really hope you guys are looking forward to the new running on the show, how things are going to run, the new chapter of Clockwork Dandy Noodles. Go check out my blog again. I'll make sure that some links are on the screen because this video gets edited by the magical editor. He is going to be taking on some of the YouTube videos when it comes to Japan, so you'll be getting more edited content, things like shorts and things like me doing quick things for Japan. To make sure that there's lots of content coming your way, there's going to be a mixture of edited stuff, less edited stuff. Make sure that you guys are, of course, subscribed. Make sure you're following the blog. There will be my Instagram. I don't normally put it out. There is a link to the Instagram on YouTube link somewhere. I will be posting Japan videos, content, pictures. So you don't actually go see my face. It's over there. I don't normally put it out there, but it is up there. I don't think I look bad for YouTube. I just don't want to talk because I don't have the neatest teeth in the world. That's why I am using Iona. It makes me feel better, and I know what YouTube's like. It's pretty rough, brutal, and even the slightest fault on a human can get picked up by quite the nasty people on YouTube. That's the only reason why I don't show my face. I prefer having a voice for radio. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really can't wait to start bringing out some new content. I'm really excited to have the prospect of streaming with you guys, talking to you guys, and trying to build a bit of a community because that's what I've always wanted to do. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys again soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.